So continuing on the BCP command line utility, so what we have typed over here is BCP command followed by the name of your table, the target table in which you want to insert the data. Then in, as it is data from outside towards your SQL Server database, we use an in operator. Then the name of the file, bcp file.txt. Then there comes an option of C. This means that the file is of character type. Then you need to specify the delimiter between the columns. In our case, it is tab. So we denote it by /T and then caps T. Now we are using Windows authentication in order to log into SQL. So that means that it is a trusted connection, and that is why we use /T, that is capital T. And then you need to specify the row delimiter. In this case, a new line is a row delimiter, and the way to denote row delimiter is with the help of / and n, and then server. So in our case, the server name is HIBAIL 54347 and then SQL 2016. How you can get the information about server name, I've told you before as well. You can get it either from the Object Explorer, or when you click on Object Explorer, it gives you the option of server name. So all you have to do is just highlight or select the server name, Control C, and then you can copy it in the command line. So we have the entire command or the syntax ready. So just we need to click on execute or enter. But before we do that, let's check the data that is present inside the employee table. So we'll use this command in order to find out that. So you can see that 200 and 201 are already existent in the table. So because I performed a BCP operation just before making this video, so just we have to delete this data. So what we'll do is we'll say delete from employee where EID is greater than equal to 200, and you just need to press F5. So now if you again query the table, you will not see that you will now see that the rows 200 and 201 as IDs have been removed. Now these rows exist in the text file. So we'll try to use the BCP, or we'll run the BCP command line utility, and then we'll see whether the data has been inserted successfully or not. So let's go back to the command prompt, to the command window, and you can now press enter. So you see it says 2 rows copied. There are a bunch of some other messages as well, but if there is no error, it will say how many rows have been copied. So let's go back to the employee table. As I told earlier, we just need to find out whether the data has been inserted or not, and you can see that the data has been inserted successfully. So it is a very important functionality in SQL Server. If your file contains thousands of rows and you want to insert data from that file into a table, it could be a new table, it could be a predefined table. If it is a new table, you can create the number of columns equal to the number of columns supplied by the input text file. And if it is an existing table, just make sure that the number of columns as well as the data types matches with what has been supplied as the input from the text file. So now what we need to do is we need to query the table, and now it says the rows have been inserted. So let's try the other way around. So this was inserting data into the SQL Server table, and what if we want to extract data from a SQL Server table to a text file? Now text file can be easily imported, it occupies less space. So if you want to transfer the data between some teams, or you want to give it to your vendor, you can do that with the help of a BCP command line utility using an out operator. So just click on the upper arrow and the entire statement will be copied in the command prompt window. Now instead of in, just specify the out option, because the data is going out from SQL table to some other source file. So in our case, we will take the BCP file as the target file. So we would expect, if everything goes right, we would expect that the 5 rows that sit in the employee table will be populated in this BCP file. So let's now run it. So you can see that it said 5 rows copied, and there are some bunch of other messages. But the important thing is, I think the operation has been completed successfully. So now we'll go to the BCP file and see, and you can see that the 5 rows from the table employee has been inserted into this BCP file. So this is how BCP command line utility works. It's a very important tool, or you should have information about it if the requirement comes. So we'll continue our discussion, and we'll meet in the next chapter. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.